Hello and welcome to module number 2. In this particular module, we're going to discuss different types of legal structures, startup steps, compliance, and other legal issues that may occur. For module 2 objectives, we're going to describe the various business structures. Next, we're going to explain how to find out what licenses and permits you may need for your business. And lastly, inform you of resources available for further assistance. There are 4 main types of business structures. Number 1 is sole proprietorship. Number 2, a partnership. Number 3, corporation. And the one that's starting to become popular is limited liability company, also known as an LLC. The most common legal structure is a sole proprietorship. One person, i.e. the owner, is responsible for everything related to the business. The owner owns the assets, pays debts, keeps profits, and runs the business. Some of the advantages of a sole proprietorship is easy to organize and inexpensive. One can simply go to their local county courthouse to file for a sole proprietorship. It's used by the majority of startups as previously mentioned. Disadvantages of the sole proprietorship are no legal separation between business and owner and unlimited personal liability. To further explain the disadvantages of a sole proprietorship, let us say a consumer decides to bring a lawsuit to your business. The court does not differentiate your assets of personal assets and the business assets. The next type of legal structure is a partnership, which is simply 2 or more people associated to carry on a for-profit business. Some of the advantages of a partnership is easy to organize and inexpensive. Now realize there are no formalities, but it is recommended to have a written partnership agreement. Ability to raise more capital than sole proprietorships. Now let's discuss some of the disadvantages of a partnership. Unlimited liability for all partners. Similar to the sole proprietorship, all partners are held responsible for the personal assets and the assets of the business. Partners are jointly and individually liable for their actions of other partners. Difficult to transfer business ownership in case of a disagreement or death of one of the partners. I wanted to further elaborate on a partnership agreement. As I previously mentioned, a partnership agreement is not required for a partnership, but let us say you want to establish a limited liability partnership, also known as an LLP. In the state of Texas, it is required to have a partnership agreement in place. Please check with your local Secretary of State to determine if a written agreement is required for your business entity. Another type of legal structure is a corporation. Corporations are legal entities created by statutory requirements. They have shareholders, are managed by a board of directors, and daily affairs are administered by officers. Some of the advantages of corporations are ability to raise more capital and transfer ownership easily. Limited owner responsibilities for business debts. What that means is none of the shareholders are personally liable for its debts. Now let's discuss some of the disadvantages of a corporation. Costly to create. May require help from a lawyer. Complex to organize. Double taxation. Double taxation means whenever dividends are distributed, they are taxed once. But then as a shareholder, you must report those on your personal income tax statement. And the last one is potential loss of control by the founder. Think of the example of Apple. The next type of legal structure is limited liability company. LLCs is designed to provide the limited liability features of a corporation and the tax efficiencies and operational flexibility of a partnership. Let's discuss some of the advantages. Owners have limited personal liability for business debts even if they participate in management. Profit and loss can be allocated differently than ownership interests. IRS rules now allow LLCs to choose between being taxed as a partnership or a corporation. For more information about taxation, please visit irs.gov. Now let's discuss some of the disadvantages. More expensive to create than partnership or sole proprietorship. One must visit the Secretary of State, similar to the LLP, in order to establish an LLC. Limited company lifespans. Every year in the state of Texas, for example, one must renew their application for an LLC. The last one is state laws for creating an LLC may not reflect the latest federal tax changes. For additional information about legal structures, please visit business.gov or sba.gov. Consult with your CPA or your lawyer. Think carefully when selecting the business structure. Weigh a number of factors, such as proposed ownership and management structure, potential for liability, tax treatment sought, expense and formalities associated with setting up and maintaining the structure itself. And lastly, you can always change the structure later. How do I know if I need any permits or licenses? For further information, please contact your local county or state representatives for business registration. Also take into consideration special licenses that you may need, such as zoning and occupancy permits, taxes, and other factors. For taxes, take into consideration your state, your local, and federal taxes. For Southern Texas, there is the phone number available at 956-687-9227 for the Comptroller's Office. For the Texas Workforce Commission, please contact 956-668-0788. To have your federal ID established, please call 1-800-829-4933. Other resources that are relevant as you start your small business are OSHA, which you can visit at www.osha.gov, Workmen's Compensation, Internal Revenue Service, and U.S. Office of Patents and Trademarks. Other sources of information for marketing purposes are spdc.net.org, or you can visit the sba.gov website. For the state of Texas, you can visit the governor's office. And lastly, for accounting purposes, you can visit the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts. Additional resources, entrepreneur magazines at entrepreneur.com. Financial ratios, business statistics, and benchmarks, you can visit bizstats.com. Other good reading material or other collateral that's good to review is inc.com and zapdata.com. In conclusion of module number 2, we have covered how to choose the right legal formation for your business, determine what licenses and permits your business may need, and lastly, identify resources available to help you in this process. Thank you for watching module number 2, and if you do have any questions pertaining to this particular module, please visit us at vblock@utrgv.edu. Thank you.